Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I am Arif and I welcome you all to our new session. Well, to access the notebook for today's session, you can access our course page on my personal website, arifpat.me, and you can click the appropriate notebook file under the lecture resource column to view it in Jupyter NB Viewer, and of course can run it online on Binder. The other way is to download it from the course GitHub account Arif, and here is the public repository data science. Okay, right now I have inside my browser I have my Jupyter Notebook dashboard, and this is the notebook which is right now running in this tab, and this is the lecture 2.7 of the second module, basic Python programming, and of course the course title is Tools and Techniques for Data Science. Well, my dear students, in the last session we discussed tuples, this tuple data structure of Python, which is immutable, a numerically ordered sequence of elements that can store multiple items of heterogeneous types and allows duplicate elements. Today we are going to talk about Python set, this set data structure, which like list is mutable. Like list set also allows us to store elements of different data types, and like list you can add, modify and remove elements from within a set, and of course sets are heterogeneous. However, unlike list, you cannot have duplicate elements in a set. And to create a list, we used comma separated values in square brackets. For tuples, we used comma separated values in parentheses. And for sets today, we are going to use curly braces. One important point to keep in mind is tuple is immutable but can have an element of mutable data type inside it. On the contrary, set is mutable, but it can only have elements of immutable types inside it, like a number, string, and tuple. That is, you cannot have a list inside a set. So a set is an unordered and unindexed collection of heterogeneous items that is iterable, mutable, and has no duplicate elements. The major advantage of using a set as opposed to list is that it has highly optimized methods for membership testing and eliminating duplicate entries. Okay, I think enough of theory. Let's see the agenda of today's notebook. Well, as usual, we are going to create sets, different ways we will see. We will see different proof of concepts. We will see how we can access elements of a set. And this slicing can't be performed on set as there is no index associated with set values. Similarly, you cannot perform concatenation and repetition. Slicing, of course, can't be performed. Of course, we can add and update elements to a set. We can remove elements. We can do typecasting. We cannot order set, being unordered, of course. We will also see some built-in functions and the important concepts particularly related to sets like union, intersection, difference, and so on. So we have a lot to do today. Let's start playing. So first of all, how to create a set? Well, my dear students, a set is created by placing comma separated values within curly brackets. But since these curly brackets are also used in dictionaries, we will see the dictionaries in next session. So the preferred way is you use the set method and you pass a list of elements and you get a set. Okay, so you can have set of integers, you can have set of floats, you can have set of strings, you can have set of booleans. And one important thing you might observe over here that I have created the set using 3.7 as the first element, but over here 3.8 is the first. This is because sets are unordered. And the same thing can be observed over here as well. You can always create an empty set using just the set method with empty parentheses. Okay, some proof of concept. First of all, sets are heterogeneous. So we can have different types of items inside a set, a string, an integer, a float. Sets are unordered. Unordered means elements of a set are not associated by an index. When you access set elements, they may show up in different sequence. You see, learning is fun with Arif. These are the elements that I have placed inside this set. But once I printed the elements of this set, they come up in a different order. Moreover, remember, two sets having same elements in different order have different memory addresses. The is operator compares the memory addresses and the double equals operators compare the contents, as is the case with list. So this is proved over here. Well, the next concept, proof of concept, is sets are mutable because the set itself may be modified, but the elements contained in the set must be of an immutable type. So set always contains immutable types of elements. Since sets cannot be indexed, so you can't change them using the index within a subscript operator. However, there are different methods using which we will be able to modify a set. So over here we get an error because this index doesn't work in case of sets. Okay, the next proof of concept is the sets cannot have duplicate elements. Over here I have placed Arif and again Arif, but you will see it will not flag an error. However, these duplicate elements are automatically removed from the resulting set. Okay, so whenever you have a list, you can of course typecast it to a set. You see the list has duplicated elements over here and this set does not have any duplication. Well, mutable data types cannot be the elements of the set. Over here I have a string, an integer, a float, a boolean value and a tuple. So this is of course a valid set. It has executed successfully. You cannot have a list inside a set. So this will flag an error. You cannot have this set inside a set, and you cannot have a dictionary inside a set. This will flag an error and this will also flag an error. So remember, you can have just number, strings and tuple within the set. Okay, nested set. You can have a tuple inside set. However, you cannot have list, set and dictionary objects inside a set. So these will flag errors and this will work pretty fine. Packing and unpacking of sets. You can always pack and unpack sets. You see I have the set and I have unpacked it. Remember, the number of variables on the left side must match the number of items inside this set. And moreover, you see the randomness inside the set. This my set has returned these strings inside A, B, C, D, E, and once I print this A, B, C, D, E, this is not as per the sequence in which I have put it inside the set. So sets are unordered. And of course you can pack individual elements as well. Okay. And remember, by default, whenever you pack different variables, they are placed inside a tuple, and to make it a set you have to typecast it. There are different ways to access elements of a set. First of all, since they are unordered, so you don't have any associated index with the set elements. However, you can access the set elements using a for loop. We will talk about the for loops in our next session. And of course, this in operator also works in it. You can find out whether this element is there in the set or not. Well, you cannot perform slicing on sets, and this is natural because there is no index associated with the set elements. You cannot perform set concatenation and repetition using the plus and the asterisk operator. You can of course add elements to a set, but not using the this straight bracket and using index inside it. However, you have methods, and the first method I'm going to talk about is the add method of the set. You can get help about the add method. Add method is used to just add one element to a set at any instant of time. Over here I have created an empty set and I have added two elements inside it. So this will work fine. And now this set 1 has two elements, 25 and 73. If I want to add again the element 25 which is there in the set, this will not flag an error. However, this 25 element will not be duplicated as well. If you want to have a tuple inside a set, you can do so like this. You see, I have added this tuple containing two elements, and this has been added to this set. So this set has an integer, rather two integers, and a tuple containing two elements again. Okay, using this add method, you can add a single value to a set. If you want to add multiple elements, you can use the update method instead. So get the help about the update method. So over here I have used update method to add multiple elements, and if you want to add multiple elements, you have to pass them as a list, even a single element as well. So I have added these elements inside set 1, and remember, duplication is not allowed. I have tried to add this element 4 again over here, but this has not been added. So to add elements, we have this add method which adds one element at a time, and this update method which can add multiple elements inside a set at a time. Over here you see this, I have added two strings and a number 45. This has also been successfully added to this set 3. However, you cannot add a single numeric value being not iterable. If this is a set and you want to add a value inside it using this update, you need to close it in straight brackets. So this is not an iterable. If I want to do, this will be done. Okay, and see what happens when you add a string. So over here, when I used it something like this, so this flagged an error because this is not an iterable. However, over here, when I add this string, and this string is an iterable, so this will be added, and you will see this set will contain 4, 9, 12, and other than 4, 9, 12, it will have A, R, I, and F. These four strings or characters separately. Do note the order, it is unordered. Well, my dear students, the update method also accepts a list having two or more tuples as its arguments. This also works fine. I've tried to mention all possible use cases which you may come across while adding elements to a set. Do play with this. Similarly, we can remove elements from a set, and set has the pop method. By default, if you do not pass any argument to pop, this will be removed. And of course, since index doesn't work on it, we cannot pass index to this as we have done in the list case. You see, after popping this, it randomly removes an element, and this time it has removed is. Let me run it again, and let me run it again. So anyway, it is removing just is, but this is always arbitrary. You can always use remove method. Remember, this pop method removes an item from this set and it returns it. The remove is a bit different. It removes it, but it does not return. So a note, once I remove, this x will not contain the value. So x contains none. So the remove returns none, it just removes it. And using remove, you can mention the element which you want to remove from the set. And of course, if the element does not exist, as in this set, this string does not exist. And if you try to remove an element from a set which does not exist using the remove method, it will flag an error. So better is to use the method discard. Discard is also like remove. However, it does, if the element doesn't exist in the set, it will not flag an error, and the set remains unchanged. Over here, you see this set contains welcome to Department of Data Science, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 strings, and this Arif is not there in this set. Once I use discard to remove this, it will not flag an error as remove has done above, and the set remains unchanged. Then clear is used to clear a set. Let's suppose I have created a set named S2, and over here I have cleared it, and when I try to display the elements of S2, it will just simply say it is an empty set. And the del keyword is used to delete the set entirely from the memory. Once again, I have a set named S2, and once I delete it and then I try to print it, you will get an error. I hope this makes sense. Similarly, you can convert string object to set and vice versa. This is typecasting. We have seen it before as well. Okay, and you can use a split as well. Remember, split is used to tokenize a string. This str1 learning is fun. Once we call split on this string based on spaces, it will return a list of 3 elements containing learning is fun, and I have typecasted it to a set. And similarly, you can of course split using a specific character other than space. So now it has been splitted like this. I hope this makes sense. We have seen it in strings and in list as well. Okay, similarly join. This is the reverse of split method and used to join multiple strings. Let's suppose this is a tuple having different strings. This is getting more and more interesting. This is a tuple, and of course this is unordered, so it says this and getting interesting is more. Okay, so anyway, we can always use join and you see all the elements of this tuple are joined, and once again they are unordered. And we can of course change the delimiter, and the delimiter has been changed. Fine. Elements of a set cannot be sorted, and this is very natural because it is not possible to call the sort method on set, or sorted method even, because there is no index and it is unordered. And similarly, the way we have seen the use of max, min, and some built-in functions on the numeric lists and tuple elements, we can use them on sets as well. And the in and not in membership operators works equally fine on sets. Well, my dear students, once again comparing objects and values. This is the same old example. Two references pointing to the same object hello will have same ID, and this is going to compare the ID, and this double equal to is going to check out the contents. And over here this will make more sense because this set and this set, they are two objects in memory having two different IDs as shown over here. So this is operator will return false. Okay. Well, these are there are certain special operations related to set which we have not seen before in case of strings or lists or tuples, and they are, first of it all, it is union of sets. Well, you can call the union method on two sets, and it can be called using two ways. One is the operator that has been overloaded, this straight line, and a better way is to call this union method. This union method will make the union of this set 1 and set 2. So the resulting set will contain all the values that are there in S1 or S2 or in both. So I hope this union makes sense to you all. Great. So like union, we have intersection as well. Set 1 contains the Arif and Rauf. Set 2 contains Maz, Hadid, and Arif. And of course, once we take the intersection will contain just Arif. And you can use the intersection using this ampersand operator or the intersection method. So both works fine. Great. After intersection, we have another method, that is difference. The difference means this is the set containing Arif and Rauf, and this is another set too that contains Maz, Hadid, and Arif. It will return this difference of sets will return all values of this set that are not there in this set. So all values of this set which are not there in this set is Rauf. Great. And of course you can use the minus operator, or you can use the difference method for this purpose. Next we can find out the symmetric difference between two sets, and the operator used for symmetric difference is this hat operator, or you can use the symmetric underscore difference method. My dear students, do make it your habit to get help about these like this. And this symmetric difference actually will return a new set containing elements that are exactly in one of the sets. In exactly one of the sets. So Arif is there in both. So Arif is not in the resulting set. Rauf is only in this set, so Rauf is here. Maz is only in this set, so it is here. And Hadid is only in this set, so it is here. So the common values are removed. This is equivalent to something like this: the union of two sets minus the intersection of two sets. Finally, you can check out if one set is a subset of the other. For that, you can use this method is subset, or you can use the less than equal to operator. So over here, S2 is a subset of S1. So this seems to be true. Okay, and if I say S1 is a subset of S2, let me change it over here as well. and of course these both will return false. Other than checking the subset, you can check the superset as well. So the method name is superset and the operator is greater than equal to. And finally, you can check if two sets are disjoint or not. Okay, so that is it, my dear students. Make changes in this notebook file. Make changes in this notebook file. Uh, Play with the given sample code snippets and let your curiosity run wild and see what Python set data structure is capable of. I hope today's session was informative for you all. If you have liked it, please subscribe my YouTube channel and share it with your friends. I wish you all the best. Happy learning and Allah Hafiz.